Welcome to the Auburn Medical Group YouTube live stream, the entertaining medical live stream where viewers can ask real-time questions of real medical doctors. And here are our hosts, Dr. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gawain Vaughn.
Hello, and welcome.
It's actually a parade.
Yeah. So, I am Dr. Gawain Vaughn. We can. It's funny because Dr. Mark Vaughn's not here. Where'd he go?
Where is he?
Yeah, he ran out. Oh, you may hear him behind. He's playing in the crowd.
It's a marching band.
We heard a marching band and wanted to see what was going on.
There really is a parade just up the street.
Weird marching band.
They've got the Placer County Sheriff has the lights going and they're following them, giving them an escort.
Wow, an escort.
We've done it before. You remember when we look out, we hear the music?
Yeah, we have seen that before.
Could you hear the trumpet and the?
I can hear it, but I don't know if they can.
I don't know if they can, but probably not. We actually try not to have them hear extra sounds. Welcome to the show. Right when it's time to hear the show, to start the show, I heard the music from.
There was a band outside.
We were going to show you the parade, but I don't have a cable long enough to get out the door. Sorry, that'd be fun though. We'll come up with a way of doing it. Thank you for coming to the show. This actually is a live stream about the tridemic of influenza, RSV, and COVID all together,
the three
peaking sort of around the same time.
Give or take.
Within a month. So we'll be talking about that. We have the chat going because this is live. If you're not watching it live, we're going to help you.
Where are you?
We will get you there. There's hope for you. You need to subscribe first and then hit the bell icon. And
Better
then
have a good excuse if
you have
you're
to
not
allow
here.
Notifications on your device. Or just get here at 4:30 every Monday.
Just about.
Is Christmas on a Monday?
It's on a Sunday, but we will not be here that Monday.
We'll come up with something. We usually do. Okay, so we have a lot of comments going because this is a live program and we can use the chat. Marty Gracia is shaming us for not having doctorates in geography in addition to medicine. And Bianca is here. Welcome, Bianca and Rusty Bernard. And somebody else was here earlier. Who was it? Lynn Barger. Thank you all for being a part of the show. Thank you for saving your super chats for once the show starts. Although we do appreciate comments before the show gets going. So Angela Higginbotham is also here. Hi from Atlanta suburb.
Oh,
Thank you for telling us where you are.
I know where Atlanta is.
We know what state Atlanta is in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a
very
suburb.
good.
I bet it's got a name, but we just don't.
Yeah, that's fine. Atlanta suburb is that's totally
if you would
okay.
have given us the real name, we'd be like,
Yeah.
we say, hey, we're from Auburn. That's like
nobody knows.
30 different
They think
states.
you're from Alabama or something, or Washington or New York or Indiana or any of them. And also, tell us about all the really cool Netflix shows that are being filmed around you in the suburb of Atlanta.
Oh, are they filming a lot? That's where everything's going, to Georgia?
The Atlanta area there, yeah. Having a lot of fun here in the middle of a tridemic. We were able to both get away. We were able to both be at work.
Yes.
That's an accomplishment right now with what's going on. We've got 5 slides for you with very good data. Is there one you wanted to start with? Or should we just tell everybody that in written form they can get everything from the Dr. Green Knight blog?
You can go check that out, yeah.
Link in the description.
Yeah. But we are in a triple-demic, tridemic, whatever you want to call it. 3 different things, 3 different respiratory illnesses with symptoms that overlap a lot, kind of peaking at the same time here. So people come in with symptoms that are concerning for these, which would be fever, cough.
Almost anything anybody
congestion. Yeah, everything that's going around. It could be one of these 3. So it is suggested to test for them. Now, we test for COVID and flu on every patient who is having these symptoms. We do not have the ability to test for RSV, but some places do. Our hospital does, and they're checking for it.
But we don't have a specific antiviral for it anyway.
We don't have a treatment. So we treat it most, except in little kids, where we watch them a little more closely. In any kid or adult, we treat it just like any other virus. But no specific. Unlike COVID and flu, we do have some treatments available for those who are high risk.
For a little bit longer.
For now, COVID seems to keep mutating to try to evade these treatments that we have available.
Yeah, we've got the new updated vaccine booster for covering the BA4 and BA5 variants, which are what everybody's getting right now.
And that is
so that makes sense to get.
Well, that was the current. It's actually transitioned now to the BQ1 and the BQ1.1, and it's transitioning again over to the XBB, these new variants. Thankfully, they do not seem to be any more deadly than their predecessors.
Yes,
so that's
we are
good
thankful
news.
for that. We haven't seen anything showing that they're worse.
But that's probably where we should start. Let's start with COVID. What do we have to show them?
I think we wore out our comments.
We wore you out.
Yanka says strep A is in the news over here. Yes, we were talking about the symptoms. Almost any symptoms we test for influenza A and B and also for COVID. But if a sore throat is thrown in with that, we also include strep.
Yes. Strep A. Yeah, we will test for that if there is any sore throat as well. Yeah, fever, sore throat. Yeah. Got to rule out strep for sure.
A lot of that.
What's one of the questions for Angela Higginbotham
what is that?
Bianca's been a member for 39 months.
Oh, that's what that is. Bianca, 39 months. Happy Month Day.
That's not even like a round.
That's not even a word. But yeah, we're glad you're here on the
39 months.
39.
That's
wow.
3 years
You're
and
really
3 months.
into us, which we appreciate.
You're really into us.
Okay.
Angela Higginbotham was asking why aren't masks being recommended? They are in some places.
Depends on where you are.
Yeah, in New York, it's been recommended in some of the bigger cities.
If you're in Yellow County, it's recommended that you actually wear a good mask, not just one of these, but a KN95 or even an N95.
Right.
To actually get a seal.
And I would say if you are sick or are going to be around somebody who's sick, it's probably a good idea.
And
if you're sick, you should probably stay home. Yeah. I mean, that's the first thing. Just try to not go out and not, infect other people.
In California, as healthcare providers, we're required by law to wear them. And I'm okay with that. It's probably going to last until February or so, and we're going to. And some days I'm wearing a better one than this. I'm not real consistent about it, but certainly when I go into certain rooms, I'm wearing more than this. But I should be all around
illnesses
wearing something more than that because there's so much going around, and we do encourage people to have those masks and to be sanitizing their hands because of not COVID,
flu.
And RSV.
Yes. Both of those are contact, but
so you want to get back to using the hand sanitizer because of those.
Yeah.
And getting your shots.
Shots, yeah. So
there's still time, maybe.
Shot. If
you haven't been exposed yet.
We have those for a few. We do not have for RSV, but for flu and for the new variant, the BA4, BA5 variants we have. Which seem to be helping some.
The ones that are predominantly causing problems right now, we have something for that.
Yeah.
So I know that's a lot of information really fast.
Let's see it in slide form.
Okay, which one do you want?
Well, COVID.
You want COVID?
We were talking about COVID.
Let me get you COVID. So I can get you two different COVIDs. I have both cases and deaths.
Ooh, let's see cases first.
And this is specifically for, I believe it's for just our county. Let's see what we have. So this is cases reported to the CDC, and it's easy to see over.
United States was reported, so that looks like it.
It might be U.S.
It is all the U.S.
I thought it was California, but it looks like it's cases in the United States reported to the CDC.
Thousands.
And this is going back just to June. So early summer to
right. We had a nice little lull there between October and December.
Number of cases is starting to go up.
Kind of a spike there.
But what I thought we should all still be aware of is
that compared to
we do see a rise in deaths. Getting by a 50% increase over what it was last week. Now, you shouldn't say anything from week to week, but for us to get a single week with that much, that's kind of like what we were as the numbers were coming down in early October 2 months ago.
Right.
Is what it looks kind of like right now. That's deaths. So how many was that? If we were to say it's nearly 3,000 in a week. So even though most of us are very unaffected by COVID, except for maybe somebody we know has a cough. I mean, that's really the common person's experience of right now.
Yeah.
3,000 a week in the United States dying. And it looks to be going up.
Yeah.
Not to say that these new strains are any more deadly, it's just they're getting spread because we're letting our guard down. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are, I'm through with COVID. You've heard that over and over. Patients say it. We feel the same. It's what we have to do day after day. But the truth is, as tired as you are of it, it doesn't mean that it's not there, and it's still a factor. It's kind of like having should I say a regular time of having flu in the community, except going on continually for 3 years now.
It's all the time, yeah.
And sometimes it was. I should even compare it to flu, how it was back with Delta. That's not a comparison.
No.
Now probably is somewhat
maybe
in the
similar
neighborhood of just having flu and the toll it takes on people, especially those who are more vulnerable.
Right.
Which is who we encourage to get vaccinated. And so now I still have people coming in who aren't getting flu shots, telling stories about how they got the flu from the shot.
Yeah.
Because they had influenza within 2 weeks of getting the shot, before it has a chance to work.
Yeah.
And so they blame it on the shot rather than the fact that influenza was going around the community when they finally decided to get their shot, which was too late and they'd already been exposed. And so then when they got their symptoms, they blame it on the shot instead of the flu that they didn't.
Which scientifically, the shot cannot give you.
No, it does not give you influenza.
There is no way.
The influenza you caught before you got the shot, that's what gives you influenza. Because the shot takes a couple weeks to work. And flu is going around. And the people who got influenza who didn't get the shot didn't get it from the shot. No reason to think that you got it from the shot. Mm-hmm. Except that our minds work that way.
We like to associate things, yes.
I saw a red car and then I got the flu. Seeing red cars causes the flu.
Yep.
That's the same. That's the same logic.
Yeah.
So, no, the flu shot didn't give you influenza. The virus, you didn't get the shot to prevent early enough. That's what gave it to you.
And it may not have even been the flu. Maybe some other virus circulated.
And in previous years, even the shot wouldn't prevent it very well because they didn't match that great.
Yeah. Good news this year?
Yeah.
They got a pretty good match.
Good match. But even with the COVID shot, including the booster with the bivalent.
Wait, are we talking about flu or COVID?
And flu shot.
Okay.
I do not consider myself invincible. I still wear the mask. I still, certainly on airplanes.
There are plenty of other things that viruses going around.
Yes.
I got something 2 weeks ago. And
yeah, you did.
Yeah. It was not the flu.
Thankfully,
not
your
COVID.
symptoms
I
improving.
was tested.
So let's go back to the chat.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of Marty Gracia. And Bianca, I had COVID the other week, and it wasn't pleasant. I don't want it. No, I should show. You write it on the chat, you get on the show. Bianca, I had COVID the other week, and it wasn't pleasant. Don't want to do it again.
I wouldn't recommend
it. Yeah, we joke about it. There's a great SNL skit of, tired of work. Have you tried COVID? Try COVID. Because they're, of course, making a joke out of what this has become, and it's funny.
But
the truth is,
symptoms aren't horrible, but they're not pleasant. And I wouldn't wish it on you for sure.
Yeah, and those 3,000 a week aren't. Their families aren't.
They're
seeing it as just a little thing. So, it's the whole range of asymptomatic to deadly. Still
seeing
the whole range. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of which, let's talk about transmission and what we should be concerned about in different situations. Because we have very different situations here. So we're telling people to test for COVID to see if they are asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic, meaning they could still spread it, but they don't have symptoms.
Because that can be done with COVID.
So we check for a COVID test before getting in gatherings and certain meetings.
Or before going in for a surgery or for a procedure.
But we don't do it for influenza. Here's the thing. Influenza is spread by people who are having symptoms actively.
Right.
COVID, these are generalizations. COVID is spread by people who don't have symptoms yet or maybe won't have symptoms. Mm-hmm. That's why there's a difference in telling people to test for COVID not tell them to test for flu unless they have symptoms.
Right.
You follow that?
Yeah.
He follows that.
I agree.
So that's what's going on with COVID testing for asymptomatic, not testing for asymptomatic flu, because it doesn't make sense if you don't know those extra facts. Another case where common sense is not correct.
Yeah.
Informed sense is correct, which is not as common.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it takes a little more work.
Yeah.
It takes watching a good YouTube stream like Auburn Medical Group with Drs. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gwen Vaughn. Hey. And you can get your name on the show somewhere over here after the show's over, like Lindsay Antwine, by participating in Patreon at patreon.com/Dr. Vaughn.
Yep.
What other things did you want to get across besides go to Dr.
Well,
Green
let's talk about, we're talking about those rising. Have any of these peaked, or are we
I'm glad you asked.
seeing
I've
anything
got
like that?
slides for that.
Because that's something that should be discussed. And again, this is not
So-
to let our guard down, but to maybe predict some future.
Let's look at RSV. RSV looks to have had a peak back around the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very right side of the graph there is right now. And you see it hit a peak and then just in the last couple of weeks has come down. I'm not going to explain what the two lines are and why they have a little different pattern. Yep. Just know that they're both testing RSV, but in different ways, and they're both showing that it looks like there was a peak a week or two ago. Still really, 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 really common, but coming down a little bit from what it had been.
Yeah. So we can hope that maybe one of these tridemic diseases is starting to show a little reprieve. We could definitely use it, or especially with RSV in those hospitals and pediatric units, because that's the one that's really filling up those areas, because it's so hard on little ones, especially those under age 2. So,
okay. And then the flu map.
Yeah.
This is the most recent one. So this is the week ending December 3rd. So it's always a week behind.
Actually looks a little better than last time.
A little better. As
I
you can see,
only say that because I know California was purple last time.
There was about 3 states that were purple last time that aren't purple now. A little better. And I looked back, and what I found was that you never saw a map like that going back the last 10 years. No, never. Yeah. All that purple?
Yeah.
You'd have a purple state or two, but not that
the whole thing,
just going like it was last week. That is unique in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So let's also look at another flu little fact thing here I have of showing that this is flu-like illnesses. So this is not necessarily testing positive
fever,
for flu.
cough, malaise, runny nose.
And it's showing currently what's going on. This current season is the little black triangles all the way on the right that's peaking way earlier in the year than it has in all those previous seasons. All those different colors on the right, those are different years in the past of the amount of influenza-like illness being reported to health systems. And it looks like we may have had a peak, hopefully it's going down from here, hopefully. But it's higher and earlier than any of these years going back to 2018, 2017, 2018, excuse me, going all the way back to that season.
And while we're having that earlier peak that you see on that left, you said left side of the graph.
Left side, early.
Right. We are still seeing that, the hope is that is peaking and hopefully going to have the same, crest as those other ones, but just going to peak and come down earlier.
We're hoping. We're hoping for a wild January.
Hopefully.
When all these things traditionally, mostly would be expected to be peaking.
Right. Hopefully we're getting it all out of the way.
But who knows what we're going to get
but
with
the problem
this
is, some of these Christmas is only 2 weeks away, and that's when everybody's been gathering, and that's when, a week or two after that, it'll be really interesting to see what happens. So
let's see what we have on the comments. We have Angela saying, I have asthma, 66-year-old boosted. Should I wear a mask for family Christmas gathering? That's, as a doctor, reflexively, we're going to say yes.
That's the easy answer.
Easy to say when it's not you with your family.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not so much you wearing the mask to protect you as other people who may be spreading germs around.
Exactly.
If they're not symptomatic and everybody tests themselves, there is
pretty low risk.
There's a degree of comfort with that.
Yeah.
Of course, they could still be just about to become symptomatic and be spreading virus. That's possible, but it's less likely if everybody tests and is not symptomatic. I'll say it that way.
Yeah. If you have family who is willing to test before you gather.
And then VM says, my great aunt was so lucky. Age 95, she got RSV and beat it. Yes.
Ooh, yeah. RSV is tough on the young and the old.
Yes.
And 95 would fit that category.
That does count. And then VM also says was in the hospital for 5 days.
Yep.
We're glad that she's out.
Common
We're
thing
thankful for
RSV.
that.
Yeah.
Any special people you want to thank here? For,
over at Dr. Green Knight, link in the description below, I introduced this idea, wrote about this idea of the triple-demic, and I actually talk a little bit about the idea of an immunity gap and why this is happening. So,
you made up that term, triple-demic, didn't you?
Yeah, that's all me. I came up with that. But over there, I do have some patrons I'd like to thank. Teresia Rowatt and Lindsay Antoine. Thank you for what you do.
Lindsay Antoine, thank you. If you want to get your name, on
Scrolling
YouTube,
over here.
Somewhere over there very soon. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.
Hey, I'm Dr. Wayne Vaughn.
And Dr. Mark Vaughn telling you to stay in good health.
Doctors, thank you for another informative session. Auburn Medical Group is located in Auburn, California, USA. Thank you for participating. Please tell a friend and join us again next week.